Now, clinical trials of a new COVID-19 vaccine will get underway in the UK today. It comes as the government set to double testing capacity by setting up 2 mega labs, employing thousands of staff. And of course, we had the news just a short while ago that the US firm Moderna has got as far as 94.5% effectiveness on its trials. Well, let's talk to Dr. Bharat Pankhania, who's a senior clinical lecturer at the University of Exeter and joins us now. Could we just turn to the Moderna vaccine that we've heard about this morning? First of all, Dr. Pankhania, how positive do you feel that is?
It's good news from several of these vaccines which have been in the late phases of phase 3 trials. So Moderna has come up also with similar results to Pfizer. What we need to do, nevertheless, is we celebrate. This is good news. But the finer questions we also want to ask is, how good does it perform in the vulnerable groups? I really would like to know how good it is in the elderly and the immune-suppressed people as well.
Because we know that about the BioNTech vaccine, do we? We know that is good across all age groups?
No, we don't. And I really want to know about both the Pfizer-BioNTech one as well as the one from Moderna and others. We know that empirically, when people say to us it has got 90% protection, what does that actually mean? Having said all those negative things, I feel it is a good thing that vaccines from several different platforms are now making their way to almost being licensed.
The other issue with them, of course, as well as the different age groups and how effective they are for the most vulnerable, as you say, is how they are distributed and how they are stored, which obviously makes distribution a lot easier. The fact that this one from Moderna can be stored at much higher temperatures, like the temperature of a normal fridge, how important is that, would you say?
That's very important, because whilst advanced communities and countries may be able to afford fancy, expensive minus 80 degrees centigrade refrigeration, other countries and other places cannot. Personally, I prefer keep it simple, keep it easy. It works better. So my money is on simpler, the better.
We've also heard the government making this announcement today about these mega labs, one in the Midlands, Leamington Spa Way, one up in Scotland. Are these useful, or are they a bit of a red herring?
Personally, I would prefer that the money was invested in local National Health Service and local NHS and university labs. My reasoning is as follows. 18 months from today, we will get local outbreaks. 18 months from today, it would be not cost effective to run mega labs. Therefore, it is better to scale up service and capability and resilience in local labs, which will be there many months to come. So my personal preference is local is better, invest in the local labs, because going forward, we're going to need them more than the mega labs.
I suppose we saw that with the big Nightingale hospitals as well, didn't we? That they ended up being empty for quite long periods of time. In terms of how the government's handled the access to vaccine, there was obviously great fanfare last week at BioNTech and Pfizer's announcement because the government had links with them. It's not entirely clear how much access we could get to the Moderna vaccine, although the government is saying in the last hour that they are in advanced talks with it. It is a case that the government's having to really sort of almost bet on which companies are going to come up with these vaccines before it was able to organise any kind of links with them. How successful has the government been at that, do you think?
The UK government is always at the forefront because we are a rich country and we can place forward orders. If I were advising HM government, I would say never place all your bets on one producer. Therefore, it is good to have a allocation from Pfizer, an allocation from Oxford, an allocation from Moderna, and so on. It's much better. Once we know that the vaccines are effective and work and they're safe, there is no reason why we can't use vaccines supplied by other manufacturers and other platforms.
And in terms of getting back to normal, last week some scientists and some experts said by the spring. We've also had people suggest by next summer life could be going back to some kind of normality. What's your best guesstimate?
I would say caution. I really don't think it is possible to be back to normal by spring or maybe by summer next year. And it is a maybe. What we need to be aware, and this is a really important concept to get across to our viewers and listeners, is this: a vaccine may protect you 100%. On the other hand, a vaccine may prevent you from getting severe illness, but allow you to have a mild illness and be infectious as well. Therefore, if the vaccine is in the second category, we will still have to exercise infection control measures as well. So we're not all out of the woods just because a vaccine is on the horizon. We need to continue with our infection control and immunize the right groups. Immunizing the right groups is also important. So if we immunize the super spreaders very, very quickly, although they are otherwise fit and healthy people, it reduces community transmission of infection and protects by proxy the vulnerable people who take a lot of effort to get immunized in any case.
So we're going to be wearing those face masks for quite a while.
Yes, I think so.
Dr. Bharat Pankhania, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.